Hi, in this demonstration I'm going to talk about and demonstrate the CyberKnife and how and exactly what the CyberKnife looks like as it is destroying prostate cancer in the human body. I have a video from the CyberKnife treatment at Colorado CyberKnife, and it was on YouTube about a year ago in 2016. I found it on YouTube in 2016, and at the end of this video, I will show you how to and where to go in order to find a CyberKnife facility, the closest CyberKnife facility to you, if there is one, regardless of where you live in the country. And I'm going to share my story about my experience with the CyberKnife, uh, in the hopes that it will help you, or you can pass this information along to someone else. Because the more we know about this, I think the better off we will be. And the reason I talk about the CyberKnife is because I'm trying to give it as good press as I possibly can because of what it did for me in 2007. Right now, today, as I sit here, it is 2017. In 2007, I had to search desperately to find an alternative to being cut open, to having prostate removal surgery. But once again, at the end of this video, after I tell you my story, and hopefully that will give you some ideas on some conversation that you can start with your doctor or doctors if you're looking at this because you know someone that is concerned about it. This will give you some ideas for conversation. And at the end, I will show you how you can find a hospital that has a CyberKnife facility. And although I use the term CyberKnife, um, I say CyberKnife because Carolinas Medical Center at the time was using uh, what is called a modified linear accelerator called the CyberKnife. CyberKnife is a brand name for a modified linear accelerator. As far as I know, there are two companies that manufacture a modified linear accelerator for this purpose. CyberKnife just happened to be the one that Carolinas Medical Center was using in 2007 when I was treated. And treated quite successfully, I must add. Okay, I'm going to talk about the steps that I went through uh, with the CyberKnife to rid my body of prostate cancer in 2007. Um, what you see now is a still shot at the beginning of a video so that you can see accurately what is required of a patient as they are being treated by the CyberKnife. But first, I'm going to tell you my story. In 2007, as a result of my annual physical with my primary care physician, he told me that my PSA level in my blood was too high, that it was rising too fast for his liking, and that I should get it checked. So he referred me to another doctor who was a surgeon, and he did a biopsy. Based on results of the biopsy, guess what the surgeon told me I needed to have done? You guessed it. He told me I needed surgery. And he said he was going to do it. And I said, and I'm thinking in my mind, not if I can help it. If I can avoid you cutting on me, I am not going to let it happen. So, but I didn't say that. That was just my line of thinking. So I searched desperately for a alternative to surgery. After speaking to numerous medical professionals, no one even mentioned the CyberKnife to me. Everybody just said surgery. So I kept on looking, and I went to the web. I started searching the web for an alternative to prostate cancer treatments. And I found something called the CyberKnife. And it seemed so intriguing and it seemed so hopeful that it could help me avoid surgery. And after further investigation, I kept on for days, day after day after day after day. I researched the CyberKnife, and I finally found one that was in Carolina's Medical Center, only 20 miles away. I said, wow, all I have to do is get up early enough and stop off in Concord, because Carolina's Medical Center was in Concord, North Carolina. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, that's not on my way to work, but all I have to do is go there. And I gave them a call. I can't remember the exact order that I did everything in, or everything happened in, but I gave them a call, made an appointment with the CyberKnife facility in the hospital. I didn't just talk to anybody in the hospital. I had to speak to somebody that worked in the CyberKnife facility, a staff member that worked in there. And my insurance company was talked to by them. They communicate with my insurance company. My insurance company said they would, in fact, cover my CyberKnife treatments. So that was a blessing, I think. And speaking of that, I would like to say that it's unfortunate that I had to go through that I had prostate cancer. It was a blessing to be near a CyberKnife facility. So on with the treatment. Oh, before I get on with the treatments, let me say this. Yes, I spoke with the doctor. I made an appointment with the doctor after I confirmed that my insurance company would cover the CyberKnife treatments, would cover my visits to that facility. The doctor wanted to do a biopsy. He wanted to, if I remember correctly, I believe he wanted to have a biopsy done, his specific biopsy done, so he would know exactly where the different areas of the prostate, how strong the cancer was in different areas of the prostate. Although he did have access, he did in fact have access to the other biopsy that was done. And basically that just confirmed that I was positive for cancer. But he wanted to do another biopsy, and so that he would know exactly where the cancer was strong, where in the prostate it was strongest. And so he would know how to target my prostate, I assume. And once he had the biopsy done, he told me that I was a good candidate for treatment with the CyberKnife, and he thought that they could successfully treat me and that it would be painless. He assured me that it wouldn't hurt, and it did not hurt. And he also told me that, and this was the first time I heard about this, he told me that my cancer had a Gleason score. He assigned it a Gleason score of 6. I think the highest you can go is 10. I'm not sure of that though. When he told me it was 6, that kind of scared me because it was past the halfway point. And he told me what went into calculating the Gleason score. I don't remember at all. I won't even venture to guess what it was that he told me because I don't remember. But he gave it a Gleason score and said the bottom line was that I was a good candidate to be treated with the CyberKnife, and that he thought they could be very successful in treating me. And I'm going to show you exactly what was required of a patient as they go through a CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer. And this gentleman is laying, I assume that this is the clothes that he wanted to wear that day. And the reason I assume that those are the clothes that he desired to wear, that he wanted to wear that day, is because as I went through my treatments, well, my treatment plan, each treatment plan is designed specifically for that individual, because no two people are alike, and your prostate, the condition of your prostate is going to be different than the other person's. Each treatment plan is designed specifically for that person. My treatment plan was 5 days in a row, 45 minutes each day. I had to get up earlier to stop off at the hospital. I had to drive out of my way to go to the hospital and lay down for 45 minutes while this machine rotated around me. As you see this machine is rotating around this gentleman. That's what I had to do, just lay down, lay still, while the machine targeted the specific, the area that it was programmed for. In killing the prostate cancer, the doctor specifies, my understanding of the procedure is the doctor specifies the desired amount of radiation that he wants the prostate to get in order to cure your specific or a specific cancerous prostate. And then there's a technician that actually operates the machine and executes he actually runs the CyberKnife and programs the CyberKnife to do what it's supposed to do based on the doctor's orders, based on the doctor's prescription. The doctor and the technician are both present when the CyberKnife was being run while I was there. And I think I mentioned to you at the beginning of this video that one of the things I wanted to pass on to you besides my experience with the CyberKnife was how you can find a CyberKnife facility, the closest CyberKnife facility to be found near you based on where you live. And based on when you look at this, the web page I'm going to show you may be very different, because after all, just like cars change, companies change their websites often, I guess. But here's what the website looks like right now. I'm at cyberknife.com, and the steps that you're going to have to follow may be very different. They may be exactly the same depending upon when you're looking at this presentation. Okay, I go to cyberknife.com. I click on locations, and then you see I can select a country. I'm going to select USA, and then at the top it says select a state or the zip code. So instead of selecting I'm not going to select a state, because I'm not going to select a state, but what I will tell you is if you select a state, the disadvantage of selecting a state is that the search results will only show you the CyberKnife locations that are actually in the state. And if you live close to another state, then those are basically going to be ignored if you select a state. Because in my case, Tennessee is not very far from me. So if I select the state of North Carolina, it's only going to tell me North Carolina, when in fact there could be a CyberKnife facility that's in Tennessee that would just be ignored because I selected a state. But I'm not going to select a state. I will just enter a zip code. I'll type in my zip code, and now I select how far away am I willing to travel from my zip code. I'm going to select 100 miles, okay? And then I'll click on search. Okay, now, you see it has showing 3 of 3 results. Carolinas Medical Center Northeast, 920 Church Street North, Concord, North Carolina, USA, and it gives a phone number, and it gives a website. Gibbs Cancer Center, film, 2759 South Highway 14, Greer, South Carolina. See, now that's a good example. If I selected a state and said just look in North Carolina, Instead of, if I had selected a state over here, if I just selected a state, instead of saying how far I'm willing to travel from my zip code, then the South Carolina facility would not have shown up if I had just said North Carolina only. And that's in Greer, South Carolina. I don't know how far that is, but let's see. There's Cape Fear Valley Health System, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And let's see, I'm going to Own Drive. Okay, that is the furthest one away. The Cape Fear Valley Health System is the furthest one away. It's in Fayetteville. And then, let's see, I'll move this map around a little. That's Carolina Medical Center Northeast, 920 Church Street North, Concord. That's the exact facility that treated me 10 years ago. And once again, it upsets me that no doctor or medical professional even mentioned the CyberKnife to me. I had to find it on my own, doing my own homework. Everybody wanted to do surgery. But after all, I can't hold that against the surgeons, because their job is they're not researchers, they're not scholars, they don't study that continuously. They're serving their customers. They're maintaining their credentials and doing what they do best. And in that case, it's surgery. And I wanted to avoid surgery. But okay, this one now is, which one is this? Okay, South Highway 14 Greer. Okay, and that is the Gibbs Cancer Center. It's 2759 South Highway 14. That's the next closest one to Charlotte. And just to do, let's see, do one more demonstration. I'm going to do another demonstration on how to find a facility. Now, once again, and these results are based on me typing in my zip code and selecting how far I was willing to travel. Okay. Instead of selecting a zip code, I'm going to blank that out, and I'll just, well, I guess that's not going to matter. Instead of just select, okay, USA, and I'll select the state. And I'll scroll down to North Carolina. So I selected USA, North Carolina, and no zip code. I'll just click on search. Okay, now remember, in the last set of results we got, we found them in South Carolina as well. Now in this set of results, we're finding facilities only in North Carolina. There's 3 of them in, let's see. Yes, there's 3 in North Carolina. And there's Fayetteville, Greenville. And again, there's, once again, the CyberKnife facility, or the medical facility that treated me. 920 Church Street North in Concord, North Carolina. And instead of North Carolina, I'm going to select South Carolina. We'll do search there. Now let's see the difference in our results. Okay, there's Greenville. Oh, Greenville, that reminds me. Remember, the first search that I did, instead of selecting the state, what I did was I typed in the zip code. I said I was willing to travel 100 miles. And the South Highway 14 Greer was in the results. And this time I selected South Carolina, but I did not put in a zip code. And it's showing me only South Carolina facilities. There's Charleston. So we know that there's 2 facilities in South Carolina. There's 2759 South Highway 14 in Greer, South Carolina. There's a facility in Charleston, South Carolina. And that's it for this presentation. I've talked about my experience with the CyberKnife and how pleasant it was. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and make a statement that is definitely true. Getting the biopsy done was the worst part of being treated for prostate cancer. You know, obviously the biopsy needs to be done regardless of what treatment you choose. If you're going to get an operation, they're going to want to do a biopsy on you to confirm, in fact, that you do have cancer, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to do, to confirm that you absolutely need it, especially if they're going to cut you open. But fortunately, like I said, let me back up for a second. It's unfortunate that I had prostate cancer, but I was blessed to be close to a CyberKnife facility, to be treated by the CyberKnife. I was able to avoid surgery. I didn't have to get cut open at all. There was no side effect in what I could or could not do physically. My relationship, my private relationship with my wife at the time was not affected at all. And I was surprised by that. As a matter of fact, I was almost paranoid, because I was thinking I should be feeling something. And I was thinking in my head to the point where I should be feeling different. I should feel something, some burning, some type of sensation after all of these treatments. And I was not feeling any pain, nothing different. There was nothing different. And but I didn't take it to the extreme, I don't think. I'm just glad that I found the CyberKnife. And I will say this again. I think I may have said this in the beginning, but the only knowledge that I have from the CyberKnife is as a result of my experience with it from being treated for prostate cancer in 2007. I am grateful for the CyberKnife. It was 10 years ago that I was treated. Thank you for watching.